Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for stopping by. So this morning's post is just a little humanity post. If you're not interested in that, don't worry, we're gonna have a larger update later today. But this morning, I just wanted to have a candid discussion with you, not as Survive or Guy Cipher to LLC. This is just Guy Cipher the human. So I was thinking about some things last night, slept on it, and just wanted to have a conversation with you guys this morning because some folks look at our social media and our posts and what we're doing and think that like our life is amazing here and that we're living the dream. And while we are doing a job, this has come at a tremendous personal cost. To bring this home has really compromised my mental health, and I've had to make a lot of hard decisions along the way. And as I reflect, I struggle with a lot of guilt and shame because I see now that I've lost myself and lost my way in this. And along the way, I've prioritized Survive and the business's needs ahead of my personal needs to the detriment of my mental health, and my relationships. In this time, I've watched my father pass. I never got to reconcile with him because I was too busy with this. And we were in a position with Survive years back when he passed. I didn't even have time to go home to his funeral. I didn't have the ability or the time to go do that. So I just handled it and just did the manly thing and said it is what it is. We didn't have a good relationship anyway, but that bothers me. My grandmother, I feel really guilty about not spending more time with her, especially near the end of her life. There's a lot of conversations I wish I'd had that I will never get a chance to have. So these things weigh on me while I'm doing this. There's still a lot going on in me personally. So I just want you guys to understand that, my grandmother's still here. I haven't had a proper time to grieve her yet or lay her to rest, but this was really important to her, so she's gonna hang out with me until this is done. Ellie and I are still friendly, but we don't functionally have a relationship anymore. We're going through a divorce. I've driven everybody away to bring this home, and I struggle with that every day. So in part of that, I'd like to address our commenting. Generally being out in the world on the internet just makes me sad. Where we used to have good conversations and things sounded productive, commenting just doesn't even make sense anymore. People just talk about whatever and things devolve into monkey shit fights, infighting about other things turn into political discussions. And I'm not built to handle that. I take everything in as information, and my brain doesn't know what to do with a lot of that. So I very much limit some of our commenting, and I'm not afraid to say that because I don't like a lot of what happens on the internet, and I want our space to stay clean and positive and constructive. That being said, I will never censor a comment that is a valid criticism or somebody looking for clarity on something. It just takes time to get to those comments. I like to approve all of our comments just so that I have a chance to look at every one of them and answer them in a thoughtful manner. So if you've dropped a comment, please drop a comment and I will get to it. Or if it's just something that, you're just leaving feedback or something, I'm happy to approve that as I get time. But we get a lot of spam. There's a lot of just irrelevant stuff. I don't engage in any of that political stuff. I just don't believe in party politics. There's just a lot of things that I don't want to see in my space because it affects my mental health. If you're just kicking me about things in the past and we're not moving forward and talking about solutions, I just don't care. We know what we're doing. People come in the shop, know what we're doing, and I feel really good about that. Most people see what we're doing and the progress we're making. So when our comment section just turns into just hate and vitriol or political discussions or things that aren't relevant to the videos or the posts we're making, I don't want to come onto my social media pages and just look at all that stuff. It just makes me sad. So I'm trying to keep our community a positive environment, explain what we're doing. There's a practical concern. People just will put address changes in comments. So I do censor some of that as well so that I can handle whatever their issue was without blowing all their stuff up publicly. People throw a lot of information out there sometimes on the internet, and I I don't think that they understand that like everybody can see that. So there's several layers to that, but you know, if you anything that is a conversational or relevant, I don't have any problem with that. It's just if we're just stuck on hate and vitriol and things that happened in the past, I know the mistakes we made with Millet. You know, I continue to kick myself with those things. I hung out in there too long. I provided too much help, and I let things go on too long that I shouldn't have. It's just, I didn't want to become a manufacturing company, so I tried every avenue to avoid this situation because I'm not into a lot of this. I've had to turn myself into a person that grinds and a person that does these processes, a person that, you know, does all of these things around here. I help manage. There's so many things that have to happen here every day, and I've had to turn myself into what the situation needs at several pivots where, okay, the Survive needs a new thing, so I need to learn to be that. That takes a lot of mental energy out of me. So to just get kicked for mistakes we made years ago, I'm just not into it. And you know, if you're stuck back there and you can't be receptive to new information and growth and change, it's just not interesting to me to engage with you. So, you know, you guys have places on forums and different places you can talk about things and judge me from that vantage, but unless you're in here, you know, they're just opinions. I'm trying really hard to give a lot of clear information so that you guys have a very clear picture of what has been happening, how we got here, and what we're planning to do about it. But if you're always stuck on blame back there, you're never focusing on solutions and moving forward. And that's just not interesting to me. It's not productive, and it's not a good headspace to be in. And, you know, I see that there's a lot of mental health issues out in there. And with the only burden of responsibility for having an opinion on the internet being a connection to the internet, I've had to learn to not take a lot of things seriously or personal. It makes me sad because I want to hear everybody, but when some people write things on the internet, I just wonder, like, what kind of monster are you? And who raised you? Where did you come from? And that makes me lose hope for humanity, and I don't like that. So again, I'm just trying to maintain some positivity here. If you do have questions or anything, I will certainly answer your comments. Just give me a little bit of time. I've got a lot of jobs in here that I need to do, and it takes a lot of energy out of me. So sometimes I need to think and look at things and respond with thought. So that's what's going on this morning. And, you know, I hope you understand a little bit better about me and what my intentions are and where we're going with this. But things are going really well here. It's just taken a lot to get here. And I wish some of you would respect that. This was not my original intention. I'm not super into this, but we're doing an amazing job now. So, you know, if some finance daddy wants to come around, I'll show you how to run it and set this on a good direction. But until then, you know, if you're not going to put your money where your mouth is, we're going to keep doing what we know is right, do a good job, get on top of the last of this backlog, and move forward with some of these more higher quality Boler home materials. We're doing a great job. We have healthy margins in our business when things go as they should. I've studied under Chris Reeve Knives over there. We've visited them. All of the Millet employees came from Chris Reeve Knives. My lead machinist, he worked at Chris Reeve Knives for 10 years. We know what we're doing. We have a lot of lived experience. So it's really easy to sit in your house behind your keyboard and think that you know everything that's going on, you have all the answers in a vacuum. But unless you've been on the ground and understand what's driven some of our decisions, you can't hear me when I try to explain some of the things that's driven our decisions. I just don't really have much time for that. We're gonna press forward. You're allowed to have your opinion, that's great. But we've got the receipts for everything we're saying in here. So with that said, I'm just gonna get back to work. Again, I'm not trying to whine or anything, I'm just trying to explain. I've seen that dynamic as well, like you're blaming, no, I've taken responsibility for everything. What I'm doing is providing explanations so that people are better informed and can better understand where we're coming from and where we're going. So yeah, I guess that's the end of my morning rambling rant here. I don't drink coffee anymore, so I'm a little bit slower starting in the morning, but I've got a lot of things to do here today, and you can expect an update here in a little bit. So thanks for stopping by and listening to me rant for a few minutes this morning, and we'll talk to you again soon, all right?